There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes that love is not something she chases, it is something she aligns with. The man of your dreams is not summoned through effort alone, but through the quiet transformation of the self. Love is not a hunt, it is a resonance. And the one meant for you does not arrive because you are desperately searching for him. He arrives because you have become a mirror for what you wish to receive. The first key is inner clarity. When you know who you are, you stop settling for people who only guess. The man meant for you cannot find you if you are hidden behind old wounds, old identities, and old stories. Clarity is not about knowing the partner you want. It's knowing the woman you are becoming. The second key is self-worth. You attract what you believe you deserve. When you underestimate your value, you unconsciously invite people who do the same. But when you rise into your worth, quietly, unapologetically, the wrong ones fall away. Your energy becomes a password only the right one can understand. The third key is emotional openness. You can be strong without closing your heart. Real connection requires vulnerability, and the man you dream of is not looking for perfect walls but honest openings. To be seen, you must allow someone in. To be loved deeply, you must be willing to feel deeply. The fourth key is alignment over attachment. Not every spark is destiny. Not every connection is meant to stay. When you release the need to force love, you make space for the love that fits. The right person does not drain you, confuse you, or make you question your worth. The right one aligns, harmonizes, and expands with you. The fifth key is authenticity. The man who is right for your soul cannot meet you in the version of yourself you pretend to be. Love finds you when you no longer distort your truth to be chosen. Your authenticity is your lighthouse, and the one meant for you will recognize your light instantly. And the final key, the invisible one, is trust. Trust that timing is intelligent. Trust that love is not late. Trust that what is meant for your life cannot be diverted, delayed, or destroyed. The man of your dreams is not lost. He is on his own path of becoming just as you are on yours. When both of you reach the readiness your souls have long prepared for, your paths will cross, effortlessly and unmistakably. You do not find him by searching outward. You find him by journeying inward. The moment you understand this, destiny begins to move. Inner clarity is the quiet force that shapes the way love finds you. When you know who you truly are, beyond past wounds, beyond external expectations, beyond the noise of other people's opinions, you begin to radiate a kind of certainty that draws the right partner toward you naturally. Inner clarity is not about perfection or having every detail of your life figured out. It is about being rooted in your truth. When you understand your values, your needs, and your emotional boundaries, you stop confusing temporary attraction with genuine alignment. You stop entertaining connections that feel almost right. You stop allowing people into your life simply because you're afraid of being alone. With clarity, you gain the ability to distinguish between what your heart desires and what your wounded parts crave. This clarity becomes the light that guides others toward you. The right person is not looking for someone who blends in or bends to fit. They are drawn to the energy of someone who stands in their own identity with confidence and calm. When you are unclear within yourself, you unintentionally send mixed signals to the world. One day you want closeness, the next you pull away. One moment you speak your truth, the next you shrink. To maintain peace, this inconsistency makes it difficult for the right partner to recognize your soul, because even you are unsure of the message you are sending. But when you are aligned internally, when your thoughts, emotions, actions, and intentions are in harmony, you create a stable frequency that only those who resonate with your essence can understand. Inner clarity also frees you from chasing love or proving your worth. You stop seeking validation through relationships and begin choosing connections that reflect your inner growth. You understand that love is not something you must earn by being agreeable, pleasing, or endlessly accommodating. Instead, you allow your real self to lead, knowing that the partner meant for you will be drawn to your authenticity, not your performance. Clarity allows you to recognize red flags immediately and walk away without guilt, because you know what your heart is worth. Most importantly, it opens the space for someone who sees you fully, your strengths, your softness, your shadows, and loves you for all of it. When you are clear within, love does not need to search for you, it simply finds you. Self-worth is the silent architect of every relationship you allow into your life. It determines not just who you attract, but who you tolerate, who you choose, and who you believe you deserve. When your sense of worth is strong, you naturally gravitate toward people who respect your boundaries, honor your emotions, and value your presence. You no longer accept crumbs disguised as affection or settle for someone who treats your heart as an afterthought. Instead, you become drawn to relationships that reflect the care, dignity, and respect you hold for yourself. Without self-worth, love becomes a negotiation. With self-worth, it becomes a reflection. The energy you carry teaches others how to treat you. If you carry doubt, fear, or the belief that you are hard to love, you attract people who confirm those beliefs. They mirror your insecurities back to you, intentionally or not. But when you embody confidence in your emotional and spiritual values, something shifts. You stop chasing approval and start choosing alignment. You stop allowing people to take advantage of your kindness and begin setting boundaries that protect your peace. You stop accepting relationships that drain you and start seeking ones that nourish you. This shift is not loud or dramatic. It happens quietly within, long before it becomes visible on the outside. Self-worth also sharpens your intuition. You can sense the difference between someone who is genuinely interested and someone who is simply entertained. You recognize the subtle signs of incompatibility, and you no longer ignore them for the sake of companionship. Instead of fighting to be chosen, you wait for the connection that chooses you with clarity and intention. The love you attract becomes deeper, healthier, and more stable because it aligns with your inner truth rather than your fears. When you believe in your worth, you stop shrinking to fit the spaces offered to you. You stop performing for love, overgiving to prove your value, or dimming your light to avoid intimidating others. You begin to understand that the right partner is not threatened by your strength, your ambition, or your heart. They are inspired by it. Self-worth becomes a magnet, drawing in someone who sees your value not because you convince them, but because you naturally reveal it through the way you carry yourself. When you elevate your worth, you elevate the quality of love you allow into your life. Emotional openness is the bridge that transforms two strangers into soul-connected partners. Without it, relationships remain shallow, surface-level, and fragile. With it, love becomes rooted in truth, vulnerability, and mutual understanding. Emotional openness does not mean oversharing or exposing your entire heart immediately. It means allowing yourself to be real. It means letting someone see beyond the mask you present to the world. It means offering your truth without fear that it will make you unlovable. When you are willing to express your feelings, needs, fears, and hopes, you invite the other person to meet you authentically. You create a space where both of you can be fully human, imperfect, evolving, and honest. Many people desire deep love but resist the vulnerability that makes it possible. They fear disappointment, rejection, or judgment, so they hide their heart behind humor, independence, or emotional distance. But guarding yourself too tightly doesn't protect you from pain. It protects you from connection. Emotional openness is the foundation of trust. It signals to another person that you are not playing a role or performing for approval, but showing up with sincerity. Without this openness, partners are left guessing, reading between the lines, or filling in emotional gaps with their own assumptions. Misunderstandings grow, intimacy fades, and the relationship becomes a maze of unspoken truths. When you open your heart, you allow your partner to feel safe opening theirs. Openness inspires openness. Honesty inspires honesty. Vulnerability inspires depth. The connection becomes reciprocal instead of one-sided, warm instead of guarded. You begin to understand each other's inner worlds, what hurts, what heals, what triggers, what soothes. This understanding builds emotional intimacy, the kind of closeness that cannot be faked or forced. It is the closeness that forms the backbone of long-lasting love. Emotional openness also teaches you to express your needs without guilt. Instead of hoping someone will magically understand you, you communicate clearly and compassionately. This prevents resentment, disappointment, and silent suffering. It allows conflicts to become opportunities for growth rather than wounds that never heal. The right partner will not weaponize your vulnerability, they will honor it. They will hold your openness with care because they recognize it as the doorway to deeper connection. When you allow yourself to be emotionally open, you give love the chance to be real. You make space for a bond built not on fantasy or fear, but on truth, mutual understanding, and the courage to feel deeply. In this space, genuine connection doesn't just happen, it thrives. Alignment is the quiet truth that reveals whether a relationship is meant to grow or simply pass through your life. Attachment often convinces you to hold on, even when something feels off, even when your intuition whispers that the connection is draining more than it gives. Attachment clings to potential. Alignment recognizes reality. When you prioritize alignment over attachment, you stop forcing relationships to become something they were never meant to be. You begin to understand that a strong emotional pull is not the same as compatibility, and shared memories are not the same as shared purpose. Alignment is about how well two souls walk together, not how tightly they hold on. Attachment is rooted in fear, fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of losing what feels familiar. This fear makes you rationalize red flags, tolerate inconsistency, and settle for half love because it feels safer than uncertainty. But when you prioritize alignment, you choose growth over comfort, you choose truth over illusion, you choose the path that leads to your highest self rather than the one that keeps you emotionally stagnant. Alignment asks, does this connection expand you, support you, strengthen you, encourage your evolution? When the answer is no, letting go becomes an act of self-respect rather than loss. Alignment also reveals that not every person who enters your life is meant to stay. Some come as lessons, some as mirrors, some as catalysts for transformation. Holding on to what no longer matches your energy only delays the arrival of what truly does. When you choose alignment, you allow space for relationships that match your values, your emotional needs, and your future vision. You begin to recognize that real love doesn't require endless convincing, chasing, or proving. It flows naturally because both people are moving in the same direction, internally and externally. When you prioritize alignment, you learn to trust timing and release pressure. You let relationships unfold without forcing outcomes. You understand that love rooted in alignment feels peaceful, not chaotic. It feels mutual, not one-sided. It feels supportive, not heavy. Attachment creates anxiety. Alignment creates clarity. The right person will not just make you feel wanted, they will make you feel understood, supported, and deeply connected. When you choose alignment over attachment, you open yourself to the kind of relationship that doesn't merely survive but thrives, not because you held on tightly, but because both hearts move together with intention, truth, and harmony. Authenticity is the purest form of magnetism because it reflects the truth of who you are without filters, performance, or disguise. When you show up as your real self, you emit an energy that cannot be replicated or mistaken. Pretending to be someone you're not may attract temporary interest, but only authenticity attracts someone who is truly meant for you. When you allow your personality, your quirks, your strengths, and even your insecurities to exist without apology, you create a presence that is both rare and irresistible. Authenticity communicates confidence, not the loud, performative kind, but the grounded assurance that comes from self-acceptance. It silently tells the world, I am enough. And the person who resonates with your essence will recognize that truth instantly. Many people hide parts of themselves out of fear of judgment, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being rejected. But the parts you hide are often the very parts that make you unforgettable. When you censor yourself, you attract relationships that require you to keep wearing a mask. You become trapped in versions of yourself that drain you instead of fulfilling you. Authenticity frees you from this exhaustion. It creates connections that feel effortless because you are not performing. You are simply being. Authenticity also acts as a natural filter. It pushes away those who are not aligned with your values, your depth, or your emotional reality. This can feel painful at first, especially if you are used to earning approval or shaping yourself to fit the expectations of others. But with time you realize that losing people who cannot appreciate your truth is not a loss. It is liberation. It clears space for someone who loves you without conditions, without expectations that require you to shrink or bend. When you live authentically, you also make your needs, boundaries, and desires clear. There is no confusion about who you are or what you want. This clarity attracts a partner who is emotionally mature, grounded, and ready to meet you at your level. The right person is drawn to your honesty because it feels safe, refreshing, and trustworthy. They are inspired by your courage to live in your truth, and they want to build a connection rooted in that same transparency. Your authenticity is not a flaw to fix or a risk to hide. It is your compass, your light, your magnet. It is the force that ensures the love that finds you is not based on illusion, but on the deepest and most genuine parts of who you are. Trust is the quiet surrender that turns longing into alignment and fear into flow. It is the moment you stop gripping the reins of life so tightly and allow the path meant for you to reveal itself in its own timing. Trust is not passive. It is a powerful inner choice to believe that what is meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or destroyed. When you trust, you stop fighting life and start partnering with it. You release the belief that you must control every outcome, every connection, every moment. Instead, you understand that certain things are already written for you, and your only job is to stay open, self-aware, and aligned so you can receive them. Trust allows you to step out of survival mode. It softens the fear that you are running out of time or that love might miss you. It teaches you that the right person is not chosen by force, manipulation, or desperation, but by the unfolding of two journeys that are silently moving toward each other. When you trust, you stop lowering your standards out of loneliness, stop chasing people who cannot see your value, and stop replaying old narratives that insist you are hard to love. You begin to relax into the truth that the love meant for you is already searching for you with the same intensity you feel within your own heart. Trust is also what steadies you through the in-between spaces, those moments when nothing seems to be happening, when life feels quiet, when you question whether the universe still remembers your desires. Instead of spiraling into doubt, trust reminds you that growth often happens beneath the surface, and alignment often forms long before it becomes visible. Trust helps you remain grounded, patient, and emotionally open, even when the evidence has not yet arrived. With trust, you no longer cling to relationships that are misaligned or force connections out of fear of being alone. You release what does not nurture you, because you know something better is on its way, something that matches your heart, your values, and your evolution. Trust turns endings into openings and uncertainty into possibility. It is the key that unlocks divine timing, allowing you to meet the person who was always meant to walk beside you. When you choose trust, destiny does not chase you. You naturally meet it right where you are. In the end, love finds its way to those who are ready, not perfect, not fearless, but ready to know themselves, ready to honor their worth, ready to open their hearts, ready to release what no longer aligns, ready to stand in their truth, ready to trust the timing that is wiser than their impatience. The man of your dreams is not somewhere you must chase. He is someone who will recognize the woman you have become. He will feel the clarity you've cultivated, the worth you've embraced, the openness you've allowed, the alignment you've chosen, the authenticity you've embodied, and the trust you've finally stepped into. These keys are not just steps toward love, they are steps toward your highest self. And the moment you rise into that version of yourself, you no longer wonder if love will come. You simply know. Because real love doesn't arrive through force. It arrives through readiness. It doesn't respond to fear. It responds to truth. And it doesn't appear when you are searching outward. It appears when you are aligned inward. So keep becoming, keep growing, keep trusting. Your path is already guiding you toward a love that matches the woman you are now becoming. And when the two of you finally cross paths, it will not feel like discovery. It will feel like recognition.